Hello everyone, this is Ankit Khatiyar from Department of Civil Engineering, PSIT COE Kanpur. Today we are going to discuss a pin jointed truss or pin jointed Today we are going to discuss a pin jointed determinate truss. What is truss? This is the something like members joining by each other like this form. The member of truss, the minimum member required for making a truss is 3. For like that, we discuss the pin jointed determinate truss, or we call a perfect trusses. As you can see here, what is telling to us, the truss is a frame structure which will continue to perform as a geometrically unchangeable system even when all of its rigid joints and are conventionally replaced by the perfect hinges. That means if we have a frame like this, for example this is the frame we have, and is telling to us that rigid joints are conventionally replaced by the perfect hinges. We can replace these rigid joints in form of hinges, and the trusses are used for the same purposes as beam. When we designing for any beam, for example this is your beam, you can also use a truss in case of beam. If you are standing here, you can also use a truss in case of beam. Okay, only when the spans they cover are very much larger. Spans they cover are much larger. That means the length of the span is, if the length of the beam is LB and length of the truss is LT, then it will be, for truss LT should be greater than LB. You can use the truss in this condition. Okay. Now in this point you can see that he is telling to us that the members are subjected either to direct tension or compression. For example, this is your member AB. The member will be in tension, either will be a tension or will be a compression. If we have a truss like that, this is our truss, for example this is the truss. Okay, the forces in the member either in the tension or compression. Okay, the tension force will be, this is your the member tension A point, B point. This is tension, this is for compression. The tension we will take positive and compression we will take negative sign. This is your the first point is telling to us about the sign convention and the tension and compression members. And in the second point we are going to discuss little more about the properties of the trusses. What is the diagonal what is the panel length, what is the lower chord and upper chord, vertical and web member. As you can see here, for this particular section you can see that a diagonal member we are joining here. If a diagonal member we are joining here in the particular frame, this will call a diagonal, and distance between two hinges is called a panel. You can see here, okay. And the members which are connected by a two hinges is a lower chord, or if this member is in lower side, you can call it a lower chord. If the member is in a upper frame which is joined by two hinges, is called a upper chord or top chord. And this is your vertical member, and this will you also called a web member, okay. Now, and total length of the beam will be, or length of the truss will be a span. Now you can see here there is a 5 load criteria or 5 criteria may serve for the truss. You can serve the truss if you have a truss like this. If you have a truss like this, the shape, size and different behavior of the truss depends upon these 5 points. What is the first point? The shape of the upper and lower chord. Second, type of the web we are using. Third point, the condition of the support, whether it is a hinge or roller. The purpose of the structure and level of the floor. That means level of the floor, that means a lane or road. For example, this is your height, this is your bridge height, and this is your road level. So what is the level? Actually the wind pressure is more on the bridges than the road sides. Because of that reason, the classification of truss we are using in the bridge or either in the road is completely different, okay. The bridge trusses and the road truss, the design will be completely different. So these are the 5 points we can classify the trusses. So we are going to discuss some more types of truss. What is the different types of truss available in the truss market? You can see here. First one, we are going to discuss a Pratt truss. You can see that the shape in middle of the truss is inverted K. You can read here, a Pratt truss is the one of the most common type of truss. It includes vertical member and diagonal member that slope down towards the center. Down towards the center, that means this thing. If this is a member, down towards the center. Again one more member, this is telling to us the slope down towards the center is called a Pratt truss. Down towards the center is called a Pratt truss, and it has a property This is the statically determinate. This truss is the Pratt truss is statically determinate. Okay, and the another form is the Pratt truss. The sibling of Pratt is Haw truss. So completely vice versa of the Pratt truss. You can read here the Pratt truss opposite of the Haw truss. This is the Haw truss. Okay, and Pratt truss was invented by Thomas and Clapp Pratt in 1844. Now, in the second truss, you can see here we can see that one more truss is called king post truss and the queen post truss. There is two types of truss. What is the difference between king post and queen post truss is that you can see that a vertical member is attached to a simple truss. You can read here a queen post is a tension member in a truss that can span longer than the openings than a king truss. A king post uses one central support. A king post, this is your one central support. This is your one central supporting post, whereas the queen post truss uses even two. Okay, even though it is a tension member rather than a compression member, they are commonly called as still called post. Okay, you can see that we have a two members 1 and 2 and king post truss has 1. So, this type of trusses, the member joining by two a truss joining by two member is called a queen post truss. If the one central post is there, then we call a king post truss. Second one is the Warren truss. You can see here a Warren truss is the equilateral triangle making a equilateral triangle. You can see that the equilateral triangle are making by the truss. As you can see that equilateral triangle to spread out the loads on the bridge. It is an improvement over the Navely truss. Navely truss is nothing else. It is also making with the equilateral triangles. We are also using here, in which Navely truss is nothing but it is making from isosceles triangles, not an equilateral triangle. Navely truss is mixed by the equilateral triangle, and after the modification we will get a Warren truss. This is your Warren truss, and Warren truss is making by equilateral triangle. Okay, so this was your Warren truss, and next one is we are going to discuss about a K truss. What is the K truss? You can see here a shape of this K is making by the truss. Okay, the K truss is the K truss is more complicated version of the Pratt truss. What was the Pratt truss? If there is a this is your Pratt truss. This was your Pratt truss. You can see here the here is also making a K symbol. You can see that here is also making a K symbol, but instead of horizontally we are going to make it vertically. So this is the modified form of Pratt truss. So this is your modified form of Pratt truss. Okay, this was your Pratt truss like that, and now after rotating we will get like this value. Okay. Now next one is the Fink truss. How can we describe this? You can see that a triangle containing inside a more triangle, you can see that the Fink truss is a commonly used truss in the residential home. This is used for a residential home and bridge architecture. It is originated as a bridge truss through its current uses. Actually, these types of bridges is not in use in common behavior for recent time. Okay, Fink truss is the Fink truss in its most basic form has a web member. Most basic for the web member, these are the web members that follow a V pattern. This is also called as a Fink truss. You can see here the V shape inside inside a triangle, or V shape inside a truss. If we have any truss like that and making it a V member, this is also the form of Fink truss. You can see that. So this is your Fink truss. So here is the one more question about the about the trusses. The based on the criteria we discussed, the truss can be classified into. There is how many classification we last time we did, in the last slides we learned there is a 5 types of classification based on the shape, based on the shapes, loads, placing and other tools. So this was the whole about the introduction of trusses, and in the next class we are going to discuss a static determinacy of the pin jointed frame. Static determinacy, that means whether it will be a perfect frame or not. So thank you for listening. If you have any query, you can mail me at ankitktr6@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.